Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Katiwe and I love helping ambitious spiritual people, tap into their highest potential to heal deeply, create and call in the highest version of yourself, the most powerful version of yourself, so that you are creating a life that you really want on your own terms. And today's video, we're talking about doing exactly that and how safety is really important in that process. Okay, so feeling safe is imperative when you're talking about creating a new reality. And it's often something that gets very overlooked. And it's something that people don't see the value in really discussing or working on themselves. And so let me get into why this matters. Okay. So think about it this way. If you're trying to manifest a new reality, but you have past experiences that can be considered traumatic around that subject, you're not going to feel safe to create that reality, most likely, in most cases. And I'll go deeper on that. So, for example, myself, I had a lot of past financial trauma, money trauma, right? Instances that were very big shocks to my nervous system and were very, made me feel very unsafe as a kid around money. So, if I didn't address that, I would never be able to create a different reality around money because I felt so unsafe with money. Even though I wanted more money, right? The subject of money had a lot of unsafety attached to it, had a lot of fear attached to it because of the past programming and past experiences I had around it, especially if, these experiences happen to you at very young ages, right? Up until the age of 7, we are in theta mode, right? Which means we're basically under deep hypnosis because we have so much to learn as young people, right? Little kids. And we have so, oh, my fireplace guy, he's stoking the fire. Um, we have so much to learn, in a very short period of time. We have to learn a new language, how to walk, how to talk, how to eat, how to behave in society, right? How to not get killed when you're crossing the street, right? There's so much information flying at us. So we have to be able to be in a state to just absorb every last thing that's coming to us. Now, this is a good thing, but it also has a flip side, right? The flip side is if you have a bunch of like traumatic experiences, and I'm not just talking about like big T trauma, right? We all know what big T trauma is, right? The big things that you think about when you hear the word trauma. But people don't realize that there's like little T trauma. There are things that can be emotionally, traumatic, mentally traumatic, or just feel traumatic to your body, right? So if you're growing up and you have these instances around a subject and you have quite a lot of negative connotations, meanings, energy attached to a subject. Well, now that you're an adult, right, you might think to yourself, well, that doesn't matter. Like, I'm an adult now, right? I can just create a new reality. And yes, you can. However, you have an inner child, right? And your inner child is like, well, hello, over here, we went through bankruptcy, right? I saw my family get evicted. I was in, the welfare system. I was embarrassed by not having money, right? Da, 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 right? So your inner child is like, well, we don't feel safe to have more money now that you're an adult. Like, we don't care that you're 30 years old, right? We have shit to deal with over here, right? And most of us have to deal with this shit to some degree. Now, I'm not saying that you have to heal every last part of you and every last bad thing that's happened, but there are probably going to be major events that have an energetic charge around them, okay? And when I say that, I mean, if you were to think about that past negative event, you would have a physical reaction, an emotional reaction in your body today, right? It hasn't happened today. This is from the past. But if you thought about it, you would feel uncomfortable or fear or stress or anxiety or panic, right? Whatever the negative emotion is. You would feel some activation of that. That means there's a charge of it. And we have memories that have more of a charge to them and not, right? And it isn't an exact science as to like what memories hold a charge and what don't, and how the brain kind of organizes things, or the body kind of organizes things. It just kind of is what it is. Like, one person can have a negative experience around money and not have any charge to it at all. And another person can have like the same, well, we don't have the same experiences, but a similar experience and be totally traumatized by it, right? So there really isn't like a definite reason why one person feels one way and one person doesn't. It is what it is. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you less than if you feel traumatized about a scenario that somebody else doesn't, right? So let's not like label things and be like, well, mine's worse than yours, or I don't feel that way, so you shouldn't either. That's not how this works. It just is what it is. We just make these meanings as we go through life, right? Like I was saying, when you're going into, growing up to age 7 and you're in theta, your brain just categorizes things, right? And it goes, okay, this event means bad. This event is good. This event is bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, right? And we're just kind of like putting things into piles here. And so whatever pile you have it arranged in is how you're going to perceive it now, unless you go back and sort the files out better, or right, or just shred the papers, right? Shred the files, throw them in the fireplace, right? Gone. Like, you can change that in your reality now, but it is important to integrate your inner child to soothe your nervous system, because here's the thing about your nervous system, right? We are not programmed for this society. Like, I think you saw my house coat there for a second. For this society, like, we are programmed for, thousands of years ago. Our brains and our nervous systems are like, okay, if we're scared, it means our life is actually in danger, right? If we worry or have fear, it's translated in our bodies and our nervous system as like a life-threatening thing, right? Because back then it was, right? If you were afraid, most likely there was another person going to physically hurt you, or a saber-toothed tiger was going to jump out of the bushes and eat you for dinner, right? That was real fear. Your life actually was in danger. So we had reactions to that, right? The first reaction that was developed was like dorsal, right? Dorsal reaction. I think I'm saying it right. Basically, it just means like you're just playing dead, right? Like that was the first reaction. And then later on, we kind of evolved into fight or flight, right? So you're either going to fight your way out of the saber-toothed tiger's nest, or not nest, a cave, or you're going to run out of the cave, right? And then we also have fawn, right? Fawn is to like blend in with your surroundings so that the danger doesn't see you at all, right? Or freeze. So you're just staying still, right? Hoping not to be noticed. And fawn and freeze are different. They might sound the same, but they're different. So this is how our bodies respond to things that feel scary, feel like a threat. Now, fast forward to 2022, right? We have so much going on, and we have anxiety around money, anxiety around what's happening in the world, across the world, on the news. We're watching it, right? We have anxieties around what's going on with our kids, our partners, our parents. There's the pandemic, right? Like, there's so many things that you can be anxious about, that you can have fear around. Now, some of those things could potentially be life threatening, potentially, right? A lot of those things aren't actually life threatening. They just feel that way because your nervous system can't tell the difference. It's not like, oh, that's just a troll online. Your life's not actually in danger. It still interprets that as my life is in danger, right? So bear with me. This is going to make sense. My live videos always make sense when I wrap it up all together. But I swear, when I talk, I'm like a stream of consciousness, and I'm like, okay, did it make sense? Yes, it did. Just go with me. Just bear with me here. So, how this relates to what you're trying to manifest and create in your new reality is your nervous system programmed to respond, freeze, fight, flight, fawn, right? Around the subject at hand. So if you're somebody who, for example, grew up and had pretty like good energy or good feelings around money, for example, right? Calling in an extra $10,000 a month won't be that difficult for you. You won't feel unsafe with it, most likely, right? Because you're like, okay, I've always had a good, relationship with money. My parents taught me this, that, and the other. I know I can handle it. I know that it's just money. It's there to support me. I can call it in, right? It's going to be easier for a person like that to create $10,000. The person who witnessed financial distress their whole life growing up will have to do a little bit more work, right? Is that fair? Maybe, maybe not, but you still can, achieve what you want. It might just look differently for you. So in that scenario, it's like, okay, well, we have to go back and release the charges around the biggest moments in your life that, made you feel like it's unsafe, that money's bad, it's something to be afraid of, it's something that, you have to be nervous about or anxious about, right? Once you knock off a few of those big, big memories and release the energy from your body and soothe your nervous system, then you're more primed to create that new reality in that area. Making sense? Let me know in the comments below if it's making sense for you or not, and I can and I can talk to you about it. So this is why when people, are in these spiritual communities and circles, it's like, I'm just gonna like visualize what I want. I'm just gonna write it down 55 times, 5 days in a row, and I'm gonna create this thing. And that's why it works for some, doesn't work for others, right? Same thing like when The Secret came out and it was all about the red car, right? Manifest the red car. One person will have no problem just visualizing the red car and creating it. Another person will never create it until they deal with fear around having the car, or their resistance, their limiting beliefs, right? But for today, we're talking about just fear and the nervous system, right? And feeling safe to have what you want. So that is really, really an important piece that many people miss out on. So how can you feel safe? So right now, I kind of want you to rate on a scale of 0 to 10. Think about the desire that you're creating right now, right? And just connect with your body. Maybe you put your hand on your chest and just connect with your body and see. Ask your body. Your mind might try to trick you, but ask your body for the answer. On a scale of 0 to 10, how safe do I feel to have this desire? Whether it's money, a relationship, a new car, a new job, a vacation, whatever it is, right? How safe does that feel? And don't judge the answer. The answer is the answer. It's okay. It doesn't matter if it's 0, right? You can work your way up from any answer. So don't lie to yourself. You want to tell the truth. That's the only way to help yourself, is to honor how you feel, how you actually feel. And write that number down, right? How safe does it feel? Right? And you'll see, okay, well, if it's like an 8, 9, or 10, great. Like you're doing well around that. If it's 8 or below, even, right, you want to do some work around that. So the next question to ask yourself is, why does it feel unsafe? Why would it be unsafe for me to have more money? Why would it be unsafe for me to have that career? Why would it be unsafe for me to lose 30 pounds? Right? You'll be surprised. Safety comes up for like almost all of my clients. It's a thing, right? And maybe it's you don't want people to make fun of you. Maybe it's if you become wealthy, people will think that you're a snob or a bitch or a bad person. Maybe you're worried about outgrowing your family and that doesn't feel safe because you want their support and their love. Maybe if you lose weight, you'll have all the attention from men and women and you feel like you can't handle it. Or maybe you feel like it's not physically safe to have attention from men and women, and to be somebody that is more attractive perhaps, right? If that is your definition of attractiveness, right? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it sounds silly, if it sounds stupid, whatever's coming up when you ask yourself these questions is something to take note of and to deal with, right? And then it is about using processes, and that's why I love EFT, and I'm an EFT queen here, right? EFT is an amazing technique to release these charges around not feeling safe. So I will have a link in my description box below here, but you guys can click on for my free EFT 101 training, because I do this with every single one of my clients. And so it just made sense for me to make a video around it, just share it. I've shared it with so many people, probably hundreds of people at this point. And it's going to teach you how to do EFT. So EFT is, or emotional freedom technique, aka tapping, right? There's a bunch of ways to say it, is based in acupressure and acupuncture. Again, that video will have more details on that, but it really helps to reset the nervous system, and it tells your nervous system that you're safe. So you're tapping on certain points, certain acupressure points, and it alerts your nervous system at a subconscious level that you're safe. And it releases the energy around past experiences that triggered you, that were frightful, that were nerve-wracking, that were whatever, right? It's a fantastic tool for that. So that's something I'd recommend for everyone in the world to know, basically. And then it's a matter of, okay, well, once you've like released that resistance, and again, that training will go more in depth on that, so check that out. Once you've released enough resistance, now you can be like, okay, well, do I feel safe enough now, feeling neutral? And it might be enough, right? Or maybe there are things you've got to put in place to make yourself feel safer, right? Maybe it's a matter of taking an action. Maybe it's a matter of having stronger boundaries so that you know that you're safe. Maybe it's a matter of, protecting yourself with, I don't know, the evil eye, jewelry. Maybe it's, wearing crystals, right? Who knows? Like, you're going to have your own tools and techniques to make yourself feel safe, right? Moving forward. I also strongly recommend root chakra work, and I'll probably do another video on that. So if you guys want me to do a video on root chakra work, because that is safety, that is the energetic area in your body of safety. And if you grew up with a lot of fear, a lot of trauma in any area, your root chakra most likely needs work because that's just the way it is. I definitely have done a lot of work on my own over the years. I've shared it with my clients, and it's really, really transformative. So if you guys want me to do a video on the root chakra, comment below. And if I get enough comments, then I will know you guys want me to do it, and I'll do it for you guys. So that also is a way to feel safe. But again, the EFT, soothing yourself, telling yourself how, like asking yourself, how can I feel safe moving forward? Right? There's going to be answers and clarity that comes up as you work on this, but it's really important to address safety because your body will stop you. Your subconscious will stop you if you don't feel safe, right? Like if you don't feel safe to make the money, even if you have like the right tools in place, the right systems in place, the right, um, you know, products, services, you're going to self-sabotage because your body and your nervous system want you to be alive, right? That's its job, to keep you alive, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. But sometimes it can backfire. And this is why you have to have these tools to move through those like sticky parts, right? So being alive is great, but our lives most of the time are not under actual attack, under actual threat. And so really it's about communicating with that part of yourself so that it can let go and be like, okay, we're safe. We can move forward now. All right, you're free to move forward. And that way you will see momentum begin to pick up and things work out for you more once you address feeling safe. So I really hope that video helped you today. If you want more of these goodies, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. I'm uploading videos at least twice a week these days on Tuesdays and Fridays. Like the video, comment below, let me know how you found it. And until next time, I will see you guys all soon. Bye.